Hello and welcome to another modelling video. This is Alan from the Man at YouTube with another airbrush system review. Having a look at some of the dodgier products on AliExpress and eBay, I hunted around for the cheapest system, a Nanometer spray beauty airbrush system BS-1200. Sounds a lot like word salad, and the majority of the body is plastic. Instead of being utilized for makeup or artistic purposes, this is marketed as a water replacement oxygen injector or atomization moisturizer, which sounds very sketchy. The box is beautifully presented with an all plastic bottle system, a charging cable, a certificate of quality and instructions. The booklet containing instructions and a warranty card either side is in Chinese and English, with diagrams, troubleshooting section, and step-by-step how to use plus what it's used for. With grammar issues, it seems to be very well written and the technical aspect seems spot on, though check this out. Instructions: water, oxygen, material use, mineral water, method: place mineral water into small container of the spray gun, and through the extreme pressure, water and oxygen penetrates into the deep layer of the skin. Oh my god, please do not do that. Very dangerous. If you get air within the blood vessel, it will travel straight to your heart. Do not use this for its intended purpose, please. Extreme case, this can lead to cardiac arrest and death. Very possible with thin skin, open wounds. On the other hand, we're going to completely ignore the instructions, including the part of no solvents or thinners used, and see if we can apply this to a hobby use. Being a siphon fed, we've seen this in the hobby, though it's unpopular and very old school. The airbrush is full plastic as well as the body, a total weight of 200 grams, and is separatable by a thread. Inside of the compressor is a battery and a small pump with some indicators and a button. It can plug into a USB port and charge quite rapidly. A red LED flashing indicates charging, and a solid green meaning it's ready for use. With the size of the unit, I would assume, as per other portable battery powered airbrushes, it would have a life of about 20 to 30 minutes in total at a low PSI. There is two settings of a low and a high. Double tapping the button, the third press turning it off. Funnily enough, with the 50mm jar, it blocks the LED and the button, making it very difficult to squeeze your finger in to turn on, though the LEDs does light up the fluid and it looks pretty fancy. The detail on top is non-functional, though there is a hole at the front for the air to come out and a hole at the bottle area to siphon the paint out, atomize and spray it outwards. There is two containers in the kit. The first test, we're going to pour in pure tap water to see if it atomizes and draws out water particles, and atomize and spray in a pattern. It sure does. There's no issue. It's very easy as pour, turn on and spray. In-house, we like to push things to the extreme of the hobby, and turned up the viscosity to filler primer pre-mixed to airbrush conditions. Nothing that a 0.3 to 0.5 airbrush would have any issue whatsoever. And being a siphon fed, issues occurred immediately. By tilting it on the sides to go parallel with the table, it started to draw air and cut out. I also found that the thinner inside was just far too hot for the plastic in the nozzle and the airbrush, and started melting a bit and getting very soft, clogging the nozzle. I found the whole assembly to pull apart very easily. It wasn't too hard to clean the unit by filling the 50ml bottle with lacquer thinner, closing up without the siphon tube, turning upside down and spraying or dripping thinner out to reopen the hole. It was still partially closed, so I used a 0.3mm airbrush needle to push all the way through to find debris clogging it and the plastic just caving in on itself, pinching it. I've opened the hole to be wider than the manufacturer spec in hope that it should atomize the primer better and have a much larger spray pattern. With the existing spray pattern spraying water and the first successful amount of primer coming out, it states to be 0.3, though I found it to be very narrow and would be kind of difficult in its factory specs in shading or colouring in a surface like a spoon, a model or a Gundam part. It would not be very efficient for larger surfaces, and not a lot of paint came out in this pattern. Adjusting the paint flow hole, I managed to get enough paint in to be efficient in colouring in a small area, though due to the gentle nature of the air coming out from the very wide opening on the inside of the airbrush, not restricting, and no control of air pressure being a single action, I managed to paint in this part, but it was very time consuming. I've concluded that the airbrush component is complete rubbish, being hollow and a lot of air flooding in, before I ruled out the air compressor, and I can't be too angry at the manufacturer. It's designed as such, just to blow water. Removed it and noticed the thread, it looks to be similar as an airbrush valve. Unlike the other makes of airless or battery based airbrush systems, it fits on quite well to your standard hyacinth and double action airbrushes. From compressor end, double press, air source, control, no action on the airbrush, I immediately had double action standard airbrush control, and this compressor is absolutely awesome. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I've got a range of control and spray patterns as I would with any other budget or standard even tank compressor, and got to do everything from fine lines to gradient spraying and colouring in a decent size zone, ruling that the compressor is completely fine. In regards to the brand, manufacturing and marketing, I cannot recommend this product and am absolutely disturbed and disgusted in how it's showcased and recommended to be used. It's reckless, it's irresponsible, it's utterly stupid, yet slightly funny. I would not recommend buying it from these sources and using it in fear that more beauty people would jump on it and use it to harm or hurt themselves or others. The airbrush itself is not very good and failed in any sort of application outside of water. The compressor is fantastic and would even say that it's nicer than the metal-based one purely by the thread being able to take an airbrush immediately, thread and all, without an extra adapter compared to the black metal one next to it. If we look at price and playing around, the red atomizer is only around $30. Cheapest chips to just add a cheap hyacinth airbrush on and you're ready to go immediately. If you want something to work immediately out of the box or have a bit more control and flexibility, I'll go for the other wireless models or the Royal Max, where they're appropriately box packaged, instructioned and marketed for intended use. They cost a little more, but generally the quality and steel body, the long life is definitely worth it. I haven't had a chance to put this plastic compressor through an extensive use or to see how long its life or durability is, or even if there's any quality or warranty issues. I'm glad I've jumped onto it and had a bit of a play. If you've come here from the beauty community, please spread the word that this is dangerous and pseudoscience. It's a not good form for skin treatment or any of the sort. Thank you very much for watching. As always, until next time, stay tuned for further content, and I'm going to keep an eye out for further and more unusual airbrush systems. I think we covered enough to know what is good for our use, but it'll just be interesting to see some of the other unconventional and stranger products on the market. Catch you guys later.